Hi guys, and welcome back to the channel Held Dominance. Anthony here. Please remember to like and subscribe, and also click that notification bell if you're enjoying what you're seeing and want to see more. Coming up, Salford have their AGM a week later and have some interesting takes on ground propositions. For 2023, a new rugby league base is set for the RFL, and the USARL have conversation with the International Rugby League body. And that's where we begin, the USARL, as they and the International Rugby League, the INTRL, have agreed in a joint process to review the governance of the sport in the USA. The independent review will consider reforms in the unique context of the American sports landscape and involve input from interesting parties in America. The USARL has been the IRL member since 2014 and is seeking mutual alignment with a growing number of rugby league stakeholders in the USA and abroad. The review will be becoming a multi-phase approach which will conclude in recommendations to the board of the USARL on the structure model that will effectively position the governing body to lead the sport and its many diverse active proponents. In a statement, there is International Rugby League Chair Troy Grant welcomes the opportunity to working closely with the USA, stating, "A key function in International Federation is to provide support for its members, so we are really pleased to have entered a partnership with the USARL. I've previously commented on the importance of the USA to the International Rugby League, and this opportunity to review the governance given the sport the opportunity to ensure that the model accurately and effectively provides for the requirements of a major sport in the world's largest sporting market." On his part in the talks, USARL Chair Peter Ilfield commented on behalf of the USARL Inc. Board of Directors and all stakeholders of rugby league in the USARL, issues with the national structure were submitted by members and other parties as concerns that may inhibit development, expansion and overall sustainability of rugby league in the USA. We are thankful for the International Rugby League has responded to our request for assistance that hopefully provides satisfactory compliance, acceptable reform, and mutual alignment for all stakeholders who contribute to the growth and development of rugby league in the USA. The USARL Inc. will commit to a fully inclusive and participatory role in the USARL IRL joint process and agree to support the collaborate in the reform agenda. All this seems to come from the rumblings and murmurings from stakeholders in the USARL that have been unhappy with the way that Ilfield and the board have conducted themselves during the process, allegedly. And with the emergence of such expansion opportunities as the North American Rugby League and California Rugby League. I know California Rugby League have done a partnership with the USARL, but it remains to see where this all comes from. Still waiting back for more information from the NARL as well in regards to the league, as that's supposed to start in April time. But more information should be coming through in due course. Hopefully it's a bit more information than the alignment talks between the RFL and Super League. So it's Tuesday the 9th of November. And Salford have held their rearranged club AGM in regards to many of the issues from 2021 and also including, should I say, information about the possibility of a stadium move when 2023 comes around. And they've listed that they are indeed going to be moving stadium in 2023. First of all, I weren't able to attend the AGM, and these are the flashpoints that came from Salford's own website on Twitter, Salford's Twitter page. The AGM is available to watch soon on Red Devils TV on Salford Red Devils website. Now, here are the salient points to begin with, all the positives that Salford have had during 2020-2022. No, 2021, sorry. Now, first of all, we have that Salford have had a record shirt agreement with Selco Building Company, and also a record kit deal with VX3, who have been their kit suppliers for many years now. They've also had more multi-year agreements than ever before, and double the commercial revenue across sponsorship and hospitality. They have 84 new official school partners across Greater Manchester, with 1,300 tickets issued to schools and community clubs for our Building the Future game. Last match of the season against St Helens. So, 1,300 tickets to school children. Don't know how many took up, but they're looking to get schools involved. The Salford Red Devils Foundation school events were held at the AJ Bell Stadium, and they launched their Learning Disabilities Rugby League and the Physical Disability Rugby League teams in 2021. Since October 2020, they have had partnerships made with Wales Rugby League, provisional of player talent pathway and coach development, Jets RLFC, opportunity for players and coach development, that's Ipswich Jets in Australia, and also Ghana Rugby League, who you've seen on this channel before, and they have become the first club to establish the partnership with an African country. All this was passed on to us during the chat with commercial director George Harborn kicking off the evening with the commercial update. What the club are currently working on is data collection and interpretation from fans and lapsed fans and casual fans alike, observing and understanding the trends between this information, looking at digital engagement, social media posts like these ones that I got the information from, with fan experience post-COVID coming into a big section of what they were looking at. And also looking into greater range of sponsorship opportunities, not just for players, the club and shirts, so that they can increase their income, increase their revenue. Paul Trainer of the club also looked at the pathways and the schools and objectives that they have for 2021 and 2025 currently, which they are looking for a 5-year increase year on year of participation, creating a clear 12 and up pathway for across Salford, Greater Manchester and Wales for rugby league players, raising the club's profile with younger people, building strong relationships with the community, which in turn creates a longer lasting legacy for clubs like Salford to survive in the future. It continued on after all this information with the trainer and Harborn, with more information about sponsorship opportunities, how to get involved with the Salford Red Devils Foundation, etc. Then it came to Executive Chairman Paul King, who addressed the room at the stadium situation. He made it clear that they do pay rents at the AJ Bell Stadium, despite rumours that they will play here for free, that they play there for free. He said the stadium is going to be sold, and we will have new landlords within 12 months. However, we're here for the 2022 season, 100% there. He did say that the rent is going to be negotiated for 2022 or beyond 2023, but it's yet to be done so. They contracted at the stadium until 2023, with rent being £450,000, as we mentioned, once the new landlords take over. So up from 150,000. Increased rent means cuts elsewhere. So they moved on to the next part, which was where will they go in 2023? And the challenges that they may ensue. Well, first of all, they looked at Moor Lane, as that was the one that they've been looking at for quite some time. So the challenges involved in Moor Lane specifically would be developmental work, as they would need to improve the floodlights, the TV gantry, and the hoardings. The hoardings, as we mentioned, will reduce the capacity, which was covered after that. And the parking issue. If you know what Moor Lane's like, think Castleford, outside Weldon Road in Castleford, not Weldon Road itself, without the width of the road or anything on it apart from houses and a country park where people walk the dogs. That's it. Between Lower Broughton and Prestwich. Then there was the issue of a home base, a HQ if you will, and training facilities, as neither of these would be at Moor Lane Stadium, the Peninsula Stadium. And the Rugby Football League's future landscape is also unclear at the moment due to the alignment talks, so that's always going to be concerned. Then they flipped it onto the positives. As they said, the naming rights would be Salford's. Not a problem there. They would have revenue from the food and beverages that they sell on the day. They'll have self-determination. It'll be essentially their own stadium. It's atmospheric of sorts, depending on what sort of crowd they get in. It's an opportunity to reset in a home of their own. Yes, there'll be rents in the place, but everything that they can do at the stadium will be their own. An early due diligence suggests that it's affordable to do everything that they need to make it a Salford base. But they were doing the homework. There was nothing else that they could come with Moor Lane, but they had to look at both sides of it, and if it was economically viable. And if it didn't become economically viable, they had a few alternatives in mind. Here they are. So first of all, the Etihad athletics track. That would be a move of 10 miles away, going from one side of Manchester to the other, and no longer in Salford at all. And using Swinton as an example, they lost their home. They moved to Gig Lane Bury, which is number 2 option here. They played at Moor Lane as well. So they're not the first club that will play there. And then they moved on to Sale, because Sale moved out and went to the AJ Bell. Gig Lane, the home of Bury Football Club. It would be a tenant arrangement, but this is a stadium of 12,000 capacity, reduced down from 12,500 for Rugby League. It's kind of an old ground, and the rents will possibly be quite high, as the known issues with Bury Football Club being that the rents and the mortgages and everything like that are so high due to mismanagement at Bury Football Club. Plus, no one's played there for 2 years. No one. Bury Football Club play at Radcliffe, a smaller ground. Then the last one, Middlebrook. No conversation made yet with this one, but they're keeping their options open. If you don't know, I'm going to tell you where Middlebrook is. It's a place where I've commented a few times, I've also taken pictures on the middle of the pitch. It's the home of Bolton Wanderers Football Club. A 28,500 capacity stadium with its own hotel. It's suitable for rugby league because it's a World Cup venue, because that's where they picked to play France versus England and one other game during the 2021 World Cup. And it's held Challenge Cups, women's grand finals, and everything like that. It's even held international games. That will be my preference as it's closer to me. But Salford have to do what's right for them. The rent might be a bit more expensive. Not as high as possibly the AJ Bells, because they have Bolton Wanderers Football Club is there and they get reasonable crowds as it is. But they won't have the rights to the naming or the venue. Won't be able to do too much income. They'll be able to help with the advertising hoardings and things like that, because they have the electronics boards, they have lots of tiers of advertising all the way around the stadium. It's a fully enclosed bowl. It's easy to get on and off the motorway to. It's easy to travel to. Massive amount of parkings. The retail park that is there. It is a purpose-built stadium for sport. It's held concerts then. Well, no issues. But if you were a Salford fan, you don't want to stay in Salford. They've just moved out. They moved out of the Willows over 10 years ago. Their own ground in the middle of Salford, which was their place. But they had to move on. Stadium moves on and facilities get better and things like that. Okay. Salford do need indeed a reset of some sorts if they moved out of the AJ Bell. They have to come up with a new identity. They need to push more who they are. Because if you don't, you might end up like their neighbours Swinton. Nomadic, playing in the lower echelons of the league, not much income, not home of their own. They've got a year to sort it out. Clock is ticking. So there's also big changes afoot on the footprint that the Rugby Football League has in terms of property. As the RFL have revealed that they plan to create a new facility to serve rugby league and the local community close to the Etihad campus in East Manchester. The proposed two-storey building with a 4G pitch would be a unique base shared by elite athletes, community players and coaches, and by the young people and adults from the local area. There are some plans also for a small 900-seat pitch-facing stand attached to the building, an education and training facility for people to begin developing their big match skills, which the building will hold. The RFL were due to move to its headquarters from Salford Quays to the Etihad campus in 2022. And with this, the RFL Chief Operating Officer Tony Sutton said, "For 125 years, Rugby League has brought a huge range of social and economical benefits to communities in the north of England and beyond. It is a sport with a massive social impact, and now we want to make an impact in the East Manchester. Our proposed development will become a local focal point for adult education, training and skills, driving up skills and social mobility through sport. But it's important that we listen to the local residents, what they have to say about the plans before we make any formal planning application." The RFL held a drop-in session with the local residents of Beswick recently. Our League Life is the RFL's proposed series of learning and development hubs across the north, as well as offering a new facility for local people, including planning, delivery of health and wellbeing services, Our League Live would also be the key facility for all the England Rugby League squads, such as the men's, wheelchairs, and the women's team, and also the RFL match officials. It's a part of a strategy to increase the footprint and bricks and mortar assets over the next few years. The move comes after the RFL had announced the sale of its head office in May 2021, Red Hall House near Roundhay Park in Leeds, after 26 years at the premises. It's a majestic Grade 2 Red Hall building close to the Leeds orbital route, and Tony Sutton also said that after 2.5 decades at Red Hall, the move to the Etihad campus will mark an exciting era for the RFL, and they're grateful to the people who helped go through the purchase of this 1.65 million sale that the RFL benefited from. They own the building and were set up there, but tenants in the building got so big that they bought the entire building, which gave a little bit more money and a bit more incentive for the RFL to move closer to also the Salford Quays, where BBC and ITV are also based, but a quick move to the Etihad campus, where there is sports facilities and a sporting area with the athletics, women's football, the Etihad Stadium for Man City Football Club, so on and so forth. So that's it for another video, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for watching. Please remember to like, subscribe and share this video worldwide, as well as clicking that notification bell for any future videos that may be coming your way. So what do you think? Do you think the RFL are doing the right thing by moving to the Etihad campus, joining Campus Live, for instance? Do you think they should have went somewhere a bit more for them? Or does the financial aspect that they got in help them make the place a good success? Also, do the Rugby Football League need a base fully as big as what they're planning on doing? In my opinion, yes, they do, because the Union lot have their own base as well, and their own stadium. Anyway, what's your thoughts on Salford's stadium issues? Which of the 4 that you saw in this thing would be best, do you think? There are all pluses and minuses with all of them. Granted, 3 of them distance from their home base is it, but they all have better facilities than what's currently available and don't too much modification compared to what Moor Lane does. It is a year and a little bit before 2023, and they still have to find out what division they're going to be in 2023. My prediction is correct. They're possibly being relegated. For any of the videos today, please don't hesitate to comment. I've been looking forward to all these bits and pieces that you got for me. But in the meantime, please stay safe. All the best. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.